We laugh, and again, I'm not basing any of my presenting of information that I studied and learned based on what other people have done. And when I say other people, I'm not belittling my brothers and sisters and saying that they are in anything other than we've all been on the same journey. When I say we all, that means the people who don't have no idea what I'm talking about or anything like that. I'm covering it all when I say this. So it's not like I'm here saying that these brothers lack or anything. So first off, we're gonna do libations right now. And we're gonna do these libations. And we do these libations, number one, so there will be no interference, no blocking out, no incontinuous learning. And number one, so that all the people who I came to talk to, not as, oh, I came down to earth to only talk to you. No, the people who are supposed to get this information for the update. Not saying that Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic is off the internet. So who do we turn to next? It's not me. Look at me. It's not me. It's you. You do what we all been doing. You're looking for somebody else to give you the update. Guess what? You missed it because guess what? You're not doing the studying. And that's okay. Only thing I would say to that is get back into your studies. Don't say, oh, Panic and Bobby Hemmett, they're gone, they're this, they're not on the internet no more, they haven't made a video, they this, I found out this about them, and this, that. No, it's none of that. I'm not belittling them, I'm not doing nothing. All I'm saying is we all did the same research. I'm here to give you what I have found and updated the information today. Is this the official class that I do? This is just a pre-class situation because believe me, I'm on it. And this is just something that the spirit has moved me to do. So you might hear me play some stuff from both Panic and Brother Bobby Hemmett. You might hear me play something from both of them. But make no mistake, I don't have to steal or say, well, let me try to interpret. No. Them brothers have done the same research that I've done. And we're all individuals experiencing information and study in our own way. So let me get this. Let me get these books so we can do these libations. And the reason why you do libations, the reason why you do libations, the reason why you do, not the reason why I do libations, it's not about my personal reason for doing libations. It's not a personal thing for me, though it is personal for me, but it's not like, oh, well, his personal reason is different from theirs. No, it's a universal thing. Number one, excuse me, the reason why you do libations, if you make the transition right now, you want to be remembered. What is remembering? Re is to form again. And what are you doing? You're not forming as the old Sean, as an example, using me. You're bringing about the transformed Sean. You want to bring me back into this physical body? Do that if you can, but you're not going to be able to. But if that's the reason why you're doing it, I'm not knocking you. You just won't be able to do it. Are you selfish for doing that? That's for you to decide. But you are strengthening yourself. You are changing the energy around you. Number one, all the entities and names that you call are only components in yourself. Okay? These are things in you that you are strengthening. It's just like you saying, left arm, and all the things that make your left arm what it is, the components of it. You're exercising your left arm to strengthen that. Right arm. If you work out your left arm, you're making it strong. So imagine if you knew what all the components was as an entity. There you go. You hear that? Raharukarudi, Ashe. So you got those first 3 shots of those firecrackers symboling the first 3 shots of Raharukarudi, which is the first 3 shots. Study that and find out what that is. So all you're doing, in essence, in layman's terms, to get straight to the point, you're only strengthening yourself. You're not calling on something that's gonna condemn you, damn you to hell, get you in trouble. The only way you're in trouble is if you are on a level of understanding that says you shouldn't be doing this, and that's what you take to heart and believe in. Is it something wrong with you for doing that? No. Are you going against? No. But what I would say, in the totality of things, if you're praying against these things, just know that when you start to study, not because I said so, not because I'm condemning you, no way, Jose. But when you start to study, you'll find out, oh, you're initially going against it. But because, oh, if you do it now, am I doing something going against it? No. Until you find that out for yourself. And let's say you have been doing it and you're going against it. Is there something out there that's going to punish me? If you don't plug your phone into the wall on the charger and the battery goes so-called dead, guess what? The battery goes dead. But what do? You plug it up, you charge it up, and your phone has energy. Now you can use it. So that takes care of that. If you need further explanation, research. All you got to do is just say, okay, Google, what are libations? You see people saying, I'll give you a great one. I'll give you a great one right now. Coolie High. Hey, man. First off, before we go, the kid goes first. Coaches, the kid goes first. Man, this one is for the brothers that ain't here. Hey, man.
California said, drop something
Hold
in
on.
the sky, get everybody coughing. Went out yesterday and
the kid goes first. Now, remember, stay on track with me now. Don't get lost. This is Coach Cheese talking. Hey, man, they was finna get it. He talked to Preach. They had read some of Preacher's poetry. One of the brothers read Preacher's poetry. Preacher got upset. He was embarrassed because he didn't want nobody to know he was into poetry. That seemed soft to the crowd. But Coach Cheese told him, hey, look here, man. What do they know? We're here to have a good time, right? Let's come on over here and get some of this wine and have a good time. Yeah. Everybody agreed with Coach Cheese. He said, hold on, wait a minute, man. The kid goes first. What was they celebrating? Coach Cheese getting that scholarship. So you know what that meant? Coach Cheese knew the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to move forward. So Coach Cheese represented that part of Preach that had moved on. Go back and watch the movie. Brother Panic broke down the Hood's 90 movies and what all that really meant. And then he said, Cooley High was a part of that. Y'all, is up to y'all to break it down. I already knew what he was talking about. So I immediately, not that I had to go behind him, hey brother, this what you was missing, this what Brother Panic meant. No, I was waiting on somebody else. Not that I was really sitting back waiting, but hey, let's get somebody else's take on it. And it just so happened that Brother Panic broke down the 90s movies like I did. And he said a specific movie, Cooley High. Hey man, I can't, Brother Panic said, I can't do it all. Don't wait on me. Y'all do it. So I had already had it broke down. So I showed y'all what it is. And I told y'all what Cooley High represents. If you want to know what Cooley High represents, look at Preach and look at Cochise. Look how Cochise is directing Preach, how he, in the cover art. When you look at that, before you look at that, look at Brother Panic breaks down 90s hood movies. And then you'll be able to see what I was talking about. So he said, hey man, what do they know anyway? Because when he started doing it, the brother that read Preacher's poetry out loud, he got into it with him. That's what he said. What these niggas know anyway? But before that, he said, man, y'all just a bunch of dumb niggas that don't know shit. Preach was fed up because he was warring with himself. None of those people existed in the movie as figuratively people, but they were all aspects of Preach, which represent part of the chakra system, courage, creativity, sexual creativity, and everything else. So it represented the earth, the root chakra. If you want me to go into that real quick, the earth chakra going into the root chakra is Preach. The sacral chakra, if you want to go there, represents Cochise. And another part of Cochise, along with Puda, represented in the sacral chakra, which Puda is also a part of the heart chakra, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So you got to do it. Don't wait for us to tell you. Start researching. So all quantum gods, known and unknown, Ashe. All quantum ancestors, known and unknown, Ashe. So, gotta libate myself because I am the perfecting agent. I'm the hands, arms, legs, and everything else that carries out the will of God. Thy will be done. I'm the instrument for thy will be done because I am the God smelling the rose and experiencing the rose in this dream state. So, if you are out there and you are joining in with me on this live, when I call out these names, you say Ashe. On one level, Ashe means power. And all you doing is calling on the energies within you. So, I'm going to let you know where these energy sources that are in you that we created as tools. And don't just look at it as some willy-nilly thing you can just treat like, oh, I need you to just give me some money and that's it. Because the Orishas, which you'll hear me call names of Orishas, said a little while ago, we ain't dealing with y'all because the only time you call on us is when you're in trouble or when you need something. And what do you do with God now? You only talk to God when you need something or when you're in trouble. But guess what? When you at the grocery store, when you on your job, you don't ask God, what do you need? And if you do that, guess what? You're only thinking on it on the human level. Don't count yourself out. Don't think that you're wrong. Don't start all God, I'm sorry. If you're gonna do that to yourself and say, you know what? The only time I depend on you is when I need something. When this is the realm and the dream state, remember you tried to wake up with that money. So, with that being said, we're gonna call off the name of that which is head of the guard, which is known in the dark side. And when I say dark side, it ain't got nothing to do with what you think, good versus evil, light versus dark. We're calling on the most potent part, that which they classified as dark side and evil. They kept you away from the most potent part. Yeah, the day side, the light side, the day gods, they're important. But you are night people. Black people are night people. You want to know what I'm talking about? Research. And I can recommend books and everything. And I'm not going to leave this without giving you something to reference and go on. Make no mistake about that. So we're going to go with the dark side. All of these energies are now coming together to get this thing over with. Even though you see so-called what it looks like is white people, guess what? You keep giving it up. And I'm not talking about all white people. This is nothing to do with respect or disrespect. I don't do lectures based on respect or disrespect. We're talking about what Bobby Hemmett said, what I have been saying, and everybody's been saying. Bleach versus water. Even though water is important, but guess what? When it comes down to bleach and water, in certain aspects, you just gonna depend on water to wipe up blood, or you gonna put some bleach down there and something stronger than bleach. That's what I'm talking about. So here we go. And these are Congo rights, which is all black. So I'm gonna do some Congo rights, and then we're gonna get into it beyond the Congo rights. It's gonna be some Congo rights thrown in there. It's gonna be some names that you haven't heard before. Get in the spirit realm and ask. If you don't believe you can do that, if I was you, I'd be like, why did I do this? Why did I say this? All of that stuff, it may start to make sense to you when I'm doing this. So we're doing the libations. When I call out these names, you say Ashe. If you choose to, you're not obligated. So, Zarabanda, 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 Ashe, El Cristo Negro. And guess what? When you get on the 22 Cermak bus, there's a school called the El Cristo Negro School, the Jesuits El Cristo Negro School. It's a high school right here in Chicago. And when you're talking about, well, isn't that the Romans, Greeks? They were black people who set the El Cristo Negro thing up, and everybody else needed it. Remember something I've been telling y'all, and y'all heard my brother just say it. Imagine what they would have been like if they wouldn't have had El Cristo Negro. So, Zarabanda, 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 Ashe, El Cristo Negro, Ashe, La Espiritu Sense Tranquilis, Ashe, Santísimo Muerte, Ashe, San Simón, Ashe, Madre de la Luna, Ashe, Madre de la Agua, Ashe, La Cetizo Espiritu Emidreina, Ashe, Madre de la Agua, Ashe, Francisco de Lea Sue Etiso Reyes, Ashe, Oticha, Ashe, Tiecha, Ashe, Sheola, Ashe, Shumala, Ashe, Kakambo, Ashe, Lokeo, Ashe, Alakala, Ashe, Labdo, Ashe, Olowinso, Ashe, Lalila, Ashe, Labdo, Ashe, Luigi, Ashe, Atoma, Ashe, Pawoa, Ashe, Gadugo, Ashe. And yes, let me give credit where it's due. Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, reveal these entities. It don't matter what I get on here and say. I'm still learning. So I got these entities from them. Y'all better go back and look at all the videos you can until you get to the point where you see Bobby Hemmett reveal these entities. Joba, I say. Jujesta, I say. Titi, I say. Noku, I say. Nana, I say. Mana, I say. Moku, I say. Nanku, I say. Let me go in here. And guess what? If you can't pronounce their names properly the first time, they know who you're talking about. As long as you take the time out to learn the names properly, guess what? They in on it. They waiting on you to stop begging. Stop begging, nigga. Stop begging. It ain't got nothing to do with, oh, we got so many opportunities. What opportunity? Black people ain't supposed to be striving for financial security. You know what black people supposed to do? Okay, until our other brothers catch on, this is what we use to get by down here. And not just to get by, but to get by to where it is. Everybody catch on? Y'all ready to leave? All right, everybody on the count of 3. Let's go. And we out here. Joba, Ashe, Jujesta, Ashe. All of the Necronomicon, Ashe. Cthulhu, Ashe. Shub-Niggurath, Ashe. Om, Ashe. Aim, Ashe. Ig, Ashe. Yig, Ashe. Een, Ashe. Aim, Ashe. Aim, Ashe. Ein Seraura, Ashe. Makali, Ashe. Niralahotep, Ashe. Ying, Ashe. Yom, Ashe. Yana, Ashe. Aim, Ashe. Yaumu, Ashe. Ana, Ashe. Yala, Ashe. Ingara, Ashe. Emerus, Ashe. Emius, Ashe. Ematu, Ashe. Iniu, Ashe. Hamanu, Ashe. Hamanut, Ashe. Himatu, Ashe. Initu, Ashe. Yematu, Ashe. Yamatu, Ashe. Yamatu, Ashe. Yemanja, Ashe. Yemanja, Ashe. Yeminya, Ashe. Yeminya, Ashe. Yeminya, Ashe. Iminya, Ashe. Anamu, Ashe. Atu. So we did most of the Necronomicon, and we went into what's known as the what is it? Hold on, come to me right now. The Congo right spirits, Ashe. Let me see, because I don't want to leave nobody out. Brigitte, Mama Brigitte, Ashe. Baron Sunday, Ashe. Papagete, Ashe. Edowedo, Ashe. Don Edowedo, Ashe. Ayowedo, Ashe. Inuwa, Ashe. Inuri, Ashe. Anaru, Ashe. Inkra, Ashe. Kinzaku, Ashe. Muzumu, Ashe. Kinzaku, Ashe. Kingaku, Ashe. Kingu, Ashe. Kantuku, Ashe. Yida Wawa, Ashe. And Nida Tuko Baba Wawa, Ashe. Remember Hua Hewa Wawa, Ashe. Atatamayedita Wawa, Ashe. Ababa Wawa Wawa, Ashe. And all of those spirits and Congo right spirits, Ashe, all of the Kabu spirits, Kapu, Ashe, Kepra, Ashe, Kipura, Ashe, Inkara, Ashe, Indra, Ashe, Eros, Ashe, Indra, Ashe, Kalalu, Ashe, Tindra, Ashe, Kinkara, Ashe, Indra, Ashe, Isra, Ashe, Isra, Ashe, Pumra, Ashe, Itra, Ashe, Kandara, Ashe, all of the following spirits that I'm finna do in this book. Okay, African gods and goddesses. Okay. Abasis, Ashe. Age, Ashe. Agoa, Ashe. Ahaya Niguasha, Ashe. Allah, Ashe. Abororoma, Ashe. Idarara, Ashe. Elalama. Not the Allah, arm here, arm leg, arm here, arm. But we're getting to that. Adamahoa, Ashe. Anitsua, Ashe. Ayanua, Ashe. Etsira, Ashe. Ataya, Ashe. Ayagua, Ashe. Chikora, Ashe. Da, Ashe. Gadwa, Ashe. Galata, Ashe. Gu, Ashe. Lisa, Ashe. Loku, Ashe, Manua, Ashe, Nanua, Ashe, Balakua, Ashe, Ganyubara, Ashe, Nanyuama, Ashe, Azuama, Ashe, Skatu, Ashe, Kitara, Ashe, Yedama, Ashe, Geoffrey, Ashe, Gatula, Ashe, Gindala, Ashe, Isero, Ashe, Nitra, Ashe, Kitras, Ashe, Garlas, Ashe, Karumo, Ashe, Hua, Ashe, Mara Inga, Inu Waka, Ashe, Gasala, Ashe, Gafiana, Ashe, Tutrama, Ashe, Tutra Inga, Ashe, Hematorio stages, Ashe, Himame stages, Ashe, Baroma stages, Ashe, Kinema, Ashe, Talama, Ashe, Gafiana, Ashe, Dadmia, Ashe, Tatalia, Ashe. All of the boats I have written down in the book that I brought the pages for to give me all of the temples and the boats that it was suggested to me. Ashe, all the pictures I have on my wall, my door, and everywhere else. Ashe, all of the pictures I ever drawn on my body with ink pen and everything. Ashe, D.O.D. Ashe, Umububua. Ashe, Idada Uoma. Ashe, Kamua. Ashe, Karala. Ashe, Kirama. Ashe, Yananana. Ashe, Sami Adaya Amumaza. Ashe, Asuna Uma Ubura. Ashe, Asali. Ashe, Angiora. Ashe, Alolias. Ashe, Sadama Ibota. Ashe, Baba Yes. Ashe, Babaluae. Ashe, Babalu, 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 Babalu. I say newt, I say gam, I say cat, I say neat, I say newt, I say neat, I say now, I say mom, I say newt, I say maat, I say moot, I say gimra, I say gam, I say gum, I say goom, I say ga, I say gi, I say gerra, I say getra, I say genamara, I say turma, I say tara, I say sarama, I say sintama, I say saturus, I say kenara, I say Saturn, I say Mars, I say Jupiter, I say Jupiter, I say Juruma, I say Jarama, I say Amaku, I say Karala, I say Taramo, I say Aket, I say Keket, I say Sekat, I say Sekma, I say Sekma Akekat, I say Sekmara Akekat, I say Sekmara Akekat Kokot, I say Sekmara Okuku Kenka Kintat, I say Kakara Omokenka Lenka Kinkat, I say Saka and Kinka Heka Heket, I say set unka esinka anka seka haka heka kat. I say unk uja senep unka re ra mala kara abar ara king kanket. I say Jehutimus. I say Jeuti. I say Jaatra. I say Umura. I say Haput. I say Enkut. I say Ampu. I say Ama. I say Shat. I say Sebek. I say Sapa Unk. I say Sepat Un. I say Sepa In. I say San. I say Sing. I say Sin. I say Sinka Sinka. I say Sing Sing. I say Mama Sing Sing. I say Mama Sing Su. I say Papa Sing Su Sing He Hinko. I say Santara. I say Panthers. I say Panther. I say Sakata. I say Sakira. I say Semperis. I say Seira. I say Seurma. I say Ira. I say In. I say Om. I say Om. I say In. I say Om. I say Oyum. I say Om. I say Lasmi. I say Sri Lasmi. I say Shinachmi. I say Shiva Hamarfadati. I say Dancing Shivas of Motown. That's all of our entertainers that ever appeared as the gods on Motown. I say all of the 9 and the +1, all of the 8, I'm sorry, and the +1, which is the 9 spirits. Ashe, which is the Wu-Tang Clan living today. If y'all don't know what that is, y'all better research who the Wu-Tang Clan, the RZA, the Jizza, Inspector Deck, You God, course, Ason Unique, aka Old Dirty Bastard, all of them brothers. Ashe, all of their wives and children. Ashe, Anudaruba, Ashe, Anubris, Ashe, Eunumis, Ashe, Ekurama, Ashe, Uterus, Ashe, Onuma, Ashe, Karama, Ashe, Ashe, Amu, Ashe, Tam, Ashe, Testicles, Ashe, Taramo, Ashe, Pineal, Ashe, Vagina, Ashe, Great Mother, Ashe, Father of the Universe, Ashe, leg, leg, arm. I say, Amu. I say, all 7 points of the body. I say, the completed arm, say, along, an, yes, see, an, which is the completed being. I say, Baphomet, which is all 9 stages of the hematorial body. I say, Umbora. I say, Kata. I say, water. I say, earth. I say, land. I say, fire. I say, dirt. I say, Kamutus with it, Ipara. I say, that entity that represents Captain Planet. I say, Umbapara. I say, the X-Men. Ashe Umara Asiya, Uma Ikia, Untote Inkira, Ashe Kenkiro, Ashe Nakira, Ashe Kira, Ashe all of the Taras, Ashe Indara, Ashe Ura, Ishe Uma Ia Ukura, Ashe Nut, Ashe Geb, Ashe Sam, Ashe Ashe Ar, Ashe Kura, Ashe Insara Ora, Ashe Kapura, Ashe Put, Ashe Nut, Ashe Kam, Ashe Kush, Ashe Tora, Ashe Amexam, Ashe Pura, Ashe Elisha Pul Muhammad, Ashe Nuba Unkorura El Kuneshe Ali, Ashe Nigel Pul Aruma Ali, Ashe Amma, Ashe Kara, Ashe the King himself, Ashe Ampura Puta Pu Ampura Parasha, Ashe Martin Luther King, Ashe the true Martin Luther, Ashe the Kina, Ashe Kura, Ashe Para, Ashe you know who I'm talking about. Student of the Kimbo Uvra Uta, which represents the Melchizedek. There you go. Thank you, God. Melchizedek. I said Kulkadex. I said Kezedek. I said Melchizedek. I say Metatron, I say Medura Atan, I say Medura Atan, I say Metaura Ana Ita Matan, I say Kitira An, I say every God that I'm holding in this book, I say all of the Norris God spirits, I say Frigg, I say Nig, I say Kum, I say I say Kun, I say Esther, I say Jura, I say Frost, I say Kun, I say Ing, I say Eg, I say O, I say Do, I say Ban. Ashe Concertira, Ashe Cerebra, Ashe Devratura, Ashe Discatera, Ashe Isatera, Ashe Iponora, Ashe Famabilias, Ashe Pomora, Ashe Fama, Ashe Funa, Ashe Fabulous, Ashe Fabius, Ashe Hikerus, Ashe Hercules, Ashe Hercule, Ashe Umbra, Ashe Ashe Onus, Ashe Anra, Ashe Inverteras, Ashe Iras, Ashe Judasuralisa, Ashe Ungestira, Ashe Junevirista, Ashe Labuna, Ashe Luna, Ashe Muthalas, Ashe Intala, Ashe Mitra, Ashe Jarama. Okay, you right, you right. Egyptian gods, Ashe Inkara, Ashe Ikra, Ashe Inkara, Ashe Inkamet, Ashe Amahikat, Ashe Amanet, Ashe Imunet, Ashe Anat, Ashe Imejita, Ashe Inetelra, Ashe Inquita, Ashe Inkata, Ashe Inquet, Ashe Anata, Ashe Ani, Ashe Anubis, Ashe Anubus, Ashe Anubes, Ashe Anubres, Ashe Bes, get thee behind me, a Bes, Ashe Risha, Ashe Rusha, Ashe Ruma, Ashe Romas, Ashe Rooms, Ashe Rumala, Ashe Kumala, Ashe Karada, Ashe Kapras, Ashe Canada, Ashe Kumada, Ashe Amara, Ashe Amesu, Ashe Mesu, Ashe Omesa Mesa, Ashe Kinka Kunkwa, Ashe Kinkwalinkwa, Ashe Amakura, Amaipira, Ashe Usinkra, Ashe Unkekra, Ashe all of the Necronomicon, I say, all of the Mesoamerican spirits, be it Mount Pele, Piwakuchikan, Kiwakuchikan, Inkanukragan, Anisera, Abikokura, Akinkaitelo, I say Bumikara, Mount Pecoenga, Amikopira, Mount Piwayina, Masura, Espiro Pibra Idra, I say Mospira Pidra Ina, I say Mospira Pira Ira Ina, I say Bokora, I say Sumpira, I say Sumpala, I say Umpala, I say Impala, I say Impira, I say Illinois, I say Impura, I say Indiana, I say Quintira, I say Colorado, I say Kambala, I say North Impira, I say South Impira, I say Sun, Af, Nis, Dons, Waste, I say Mas, Upalira, I say Unkakira, I say all of my family members, I say me Aitira Logumbikia, I say Latami Pipira, all quantum gods known and unknown, I say. All quantum ancestors known and unknown, I say. Some of them names is not in those books, but they came through and they wanted recognition. Phyllis Hammond, I say. All of those who are in the entertainment world who came through as the gods, disguised as those people who say, you say that's the God? Yeah. Just when you thought it was outrageous, guess what? You have no idea. For all those who disguise themselves as what you would call the white man today, who came as the gods, whether it's, what's the brother name? Hold on. Let me get that book. Because y'all got it twisted up in here. The falcon, the cat, the dog, the rat, the bird, the snake. Aleister Crowley, who came disguised as the white man. Ashe. And everybody who you thought was the white man who wrote the literature, who came through Ashe. Even the sister who was privy to bring the knowledge of how to live and die. Well, how to die when you die, what to do. Who wrote Great Balls of Fire, the ISIS papers, the ISIS papers. Not our sister, but she wrote the ISIS papers. Who got the lecture online, Great Balls of Fire, Ashe. Because you know what? You got to give energy to her too. She was a vessel to bring it through. Nobody is your enemy down here once you figure out what this is. So we finna get into this sharing / teaching, lecture, whatever you want to classify it as. Just know, I'm just here running my mouth, doing what the ancestors asked me to do and what I came down here to do. All quantum gods, known and unknown. All the obituaries that I wasn't able to get for my family members that's sitting in the houses of everybody who have these obituaries. From Wally on down. So from brother Wally Strickland to Sister Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, Mama Hinton, everybody I ever walked past, talked to, spoke to, and shared a good word, bad word, or whatever you may have interpreted as. Ashe. Let's get into it. Now, what you got to understand is that first, the stuff you're going to hear me saying when I do the what's called official, and I'm doing this in air quotes, when I do the official class, and the date of that official class may change from Thursday. It may change. It may change. I'm not gonna disobey what's given me to do. They saying change it, but I'm just saying it may change because I'm a human. But I'm not gonna go against that. So you may hear me saying I'm doing class today, but the official day of class is on Thursday. The first thing you're gonna hear me talk about is the concept of death. We never called it death. It's simply you waking up out of the dream or the transformation from one state of being to the next. We was not obsessed with getting shot in the head. We knew we was gonna come into slavery. We knew that. But when I say what I just said, and we knew we was coming to slavery, we knew that. So it has nothing to do with your conception or misconception. Not saying you right or you wrong. Your learning pace is your learning pace. If it takes you 100,000 years to figure out that 1 + 1 is 2, and have you arrived to that, even if you don't get what they would call the deeper meaning, because everybody's so goddamn deep these days. They so deep that they miss what they were supposed to be learning. It's okay. It is definitely okay. Because guess what? Earth is the place for you to do that. If you thought this was something wrong, people got it backwards, they got it twisted, they don't know what's going on. Guess what? No, you got it wrong. You got it backwards. You got it twisted. You don't know what's going on. They're supposed to be doing what they're doing. Because this is the place from it. For it. You don't go to school and say, ooh, he got to still draw scratch lines on this paper to learn times tables. You going to make fun of them? Or you going to say, all right, if that's your way of learning, I figured it out. Let me help you learn in that fashion. Until you get it is how you get it. So we never knew the concept of death. The word death is a new thing to us. So let's get that straight. So everything concerning death, sin, Let me show y'all something. Everybody's familiar with this. Now, when I show you this, the tip of it where the flame shoots out the top of the head is broken off. Not that I broke it off to make it more people friendly. It just what happened. And I know why it happened. And I'll give you a brief synopsis on it. But in class, I'm going to go over why that piece broke off. But let me show y'all something so y'all can get it clear. Come on over here, big homie, because they need to know. You see this right here? This is what's called a Baphomet. I'm not showing you nothing new. I'm not breaking down nothing to you. That's, oh my God. No. But this right here simply reminds you that the goal is to become the completed being, not the devil. But if your level of understanding allows you to know this as the devil, why is that person wrong? Why are you on the internet posting memes about it? What research have you done to prove that this is the devil? All of these different parts of this represents something. I'm going to sound regurgitated. Who we have in here today? Oh, that's my brother. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. Kyeestri with the slash and the two lines. What's up, brother? What's going on? I appreciate you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. This right here simply represents the completed being. No, I'm not looking for people to sacrifice so that I can become a famous rap star, so you can do a breakdown video. Oh, he got so many people in his family that died. He sacrificed them. That's why he's a great rapper now. I was great before the Illuminati came around, baby. So sorry to tell you that. But I'm happy to let you know that has nothing to do with it. You're great too. But I'm not here to pump you up and say, oh, my beloved, you're great, and this, that, and the other. Because guess what? You may be a womanizer and beat women. Or you might not know yourself and you get into a situation and you do something cruel to a woman. Or you may be a woman and vice versa. Does that have anything to do with this or something under the ground that you say, instead of me taking responsibility? And when I say the words, instead of me taking responsibility, I'm not condemning you. I'm simply saying, wait a minute, time out. Was that person, thing, entity, image, symbol, statue around telling you, do that, do that? No, it was not. You are simply a product of not knowing self, not being in control of what's being fed to your subconscious, and not having control of it. This is not the thing that's controlling your subconscious, but people can use this to control your subconscious. They can use it. If you plug your TV in the wall and turn it on and start watching TV, you're using energy. This represents energy. This represents the energy in which you just plugged your TV in to power it up. With your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. So if you give all the energy centers from your earth chakra to your root chakra to your crown chakra to an outside entity, it will form something like this. With your powers combined, I am Baphomet. And it comes from what? Us, the indigenous people of this planet. So when you talk about death, it has nothing to do with you dying. That's it. Am I going to heaven or hell? Now, let's clarify something. If you came to earth strictly to worship God, I'm not putting you down. I'm not saying you're wrong. But if you got trapped on earth and you down here and you find yourself The only way you feel like you can make it is that you have to worship God. I'm not putting you down. All I'm saying is educate yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. You're not going to go to hell because just because you listen, God said, with all thy getting, get an understanding. So if you say, well, I don't agree with that, Sean, and the Bible says, what's wrong with you learning that this is evil to you? Until you say, you know what? Wait a minute. How could this be evil to me? What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? At least know why it's evil, other than somebody yelling at you and then saying, choir sing, give me some money, you go home. And only thing you know is that somebody told you this. But you tell your children when you go out in the street, don't let nobody just tell you anything and believe it. But somebody told you this was evil and you believed it. Am I here saying I'm promoting the Baphomet? No, I'm just simply giving you symbolism. Signs and symbols are for the conscious mind. And that's not a cute saying. It's for those who choose to want to go further in their knowing. But if you don't want to go further on the knowing of the signs and symbols and how to activate and become this, now, see what these breasts represent? That represents nurturing on one level. So the breast on this Baphomet represents your nurturing of the entire being, whether it's in this dream state that we're in now, hearing me talk, or the true place where you at. These wings represents elevation. These horns represents you being in tune with all there is that is natural in the true place and in this dream state. So it's both male and female in nature, masculine and feminine in nature. And what you got to know about the masculine and feminine, the masculine is only what you call, what's that? The giving side, the creative side of the feminine. It's all feminine when you go back. When you go back and start doing the research, it's all feminine in nature. I'm not here to say if you're going to challenge me on this, but if you do challenge me on this, make sure you got your stuff intact because I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to reference, I'm going to give you what to go by to go research it. Don't just be bullheaded because these horns represents the stubbornness also. It represents the stubbornness, but it also represents you moving past the stubbornness because guess what? The goat stands on top of the hill and looks down, not as in some, I'm better than them. It's the shepherd of the flock. You see what the Baphomet is sitting on? See that? The earth. You see that hand movement above and below? I am reflecting below. As above, so below. On one level, as above, so below, which means that I'm in the true place, reflecting down here for the people who happen to be trapped here as what's called the androgynous being. Energy don't have a penis or a vagina until it comes into the human form. But it is both of those without the penis and vagina in its true nature of being. But you're so busy worried about, did he sacrifice his family to become famous? I get why you doing that. I get it. When I say I get it, I don't just be saying that as some novelty. Oh, he sounds intelligent. I don't deal with intelligence no more. There's nothing against intelligence. But you're not going to keep on saying ABC 1, 2, 3 is the end all be all now, isn't it? Because once you learn your timetables, guess what? There's algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and then there's something called conceptual geometry. And there's something above that called quantum physics, and something beyond that called absolute knowing. But they break it down into all of these compartments and they separate it. Just imagine if your right finger was in the bedroom and your left finger was in the living room. And that's on this hand. This is your left finger. This is your right finger. Your pinky finger is on the right hand side of your hand. Your thumb is on the left hand side. Imagine if your thumb was in the living room and your pinky finger was in the bedroom, and you tried to use both of them at the same time. That's the separation of degrees of knowledge. They compartmentalize, categorize, to have you saying, well, goddamn. So you want to remember the hand, not as in, oh, I remember that I have a hand. No, bring it all together as one central thing. Trigonometry is 1 plus 1. So when we talk about transitioning, we're talking about waking up out of this place completely. So you don't have to smash tomatoes to make pasta sauce, sofrite, pizza sauce, because guess what? They've already proved that you can hook a tomato up to a machine and kill a tomato in China, and the tomato in America is going to reference that tomato in China has just been murdered. Don't say it's a science that they're studying. They don't yet have the proof. Gospel of the Essenes. On one level, it says, and you don't have to take my word for it. Go back and read the Gospel of the Essenes. Jesus Christ said, why put dead things in the live body? And then on another level, in the same Gospels, he says, blessed is the man who eats the lion, and the lion becomes a part of the man. Cursed is the man who is eaten by the lion, and the lion becomes part. Cursed is the man who was eaten by the lion, and the man becomes part of the lion. Now, whatever culture, tradition, background, my grandma from way back when saying, and I'm not disrespecting nobody, we all had that as indigenous people. But what about today's Mexican and Puerto Rican, black man, Chinese man? Guess what? They're all byproducts of the original. And when I say byproducts, I mean no disrespect, because everything had to be remixed down today for me to be running my mouth live on YouTube. It's not, brother so and so, read chapter 1. Okay, stop. And then I start telling you stuff that's going on in everyday life, but tailor it with certain types of music, even though that's a part of everything. Don't discount that. You need, listen, if one nobody doing that, you would know how to seek out truth. This right here is simply just like saying red light, green light. And I'm not talking about a game you played as a child, but I'm talking about like when you're driving. Red light, stop. Green light, go. I don't wear crystals as a decoration or the new jewelry. So when people start saying crystals, crystals, oh, my brother was wearing crystals way before they was popular. No, crystals and magnets, all the magnets and crystals and stuff that you see me wearing, before I came back down to earth, people was already doing it. Drinking smoothies, eating green vegetables and purple vegetables, yellow vegetables. All of that stuff was going on before I got down here. Sorry. But it's glad that we all caught on, right? Hello. You're not late, but welcome to the party. You got to understand something. You only go off of what you've been taught. You only go off what you've been taught. For years, you've been taught. And when you start getting into knowledge on the next level, not real knowledge, and I'm not saying that the people who classify it as real knowledge are wrong and they shouldn't say it. No, they're right, real knowledge. I'm not here to clear up what they've been saying. I'm just speaking in the way that I speak that agrees totally with everybody. But there's levels to this. Once you start getting down to the nitty gritty, the first level is where they tell you to stop learning it. Is that a crime? It depends on how you see it. But overall, it's not a crime. But don't you go to rehab to reincorporate that part of you that went atrophy? You come out of a coma, you got to learn how to walk, talk, eat shit, dress, speak, and do everything. This represents you coming out of the coma completely as the androgynous being. Not no conspiracy theory. And guess what? The conspiracy theory videos that you call that, they're necessary too. Because guess what? It's up to you to figure out what chapter of the book was that in. Then you read, oh yeah, they wasn't harming me. It may have seemed harmful because I didn't know what the hell they were saying. You get it now? Stubborn as a mule you are, right? But then you got to understand what the mule represents, because on one level, the mule represents Set, Satan. And where does Set come from? Where does Satan, should I say, come from? Satan comes from Set, which is the setup, which on one level represents the stagnant physical energy. But then when you start reading back, further back, Set was the first god of primordial time, which all the gods came from. Set. But if you just say, well, buddy on YouTube Live yesterday said, and somebody asks you, well, where did you read that at? But buddy said it though. I seen this other video. Hey, listen, if you want to do that, that's fine. You're not doing anything wrong. Just know that you're cheating yourself. But you misleading other people. No, you're not. People gonna do what they want to do anyway. That's what you got to understand. But if you blame them people for doing what they want to do anyway, guess what? You're just another part of humanity. Is humanity a bad thing? Of course it is. But is it the problem, the reason why we can't move forward? Of course, on one level it is. But then when you get to it overall, it's like, no, because you can't blame Grand Theft Auto level 1. You just figure out how to get past it. And then when you find out certain codes and different things, your homies who you play online with, you start sharing it with them. And y'all be online and y'all play Grand Theft Auto. And then y'all get past level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Duh. It's not about what you think you know. It's about what's helping you to get past what you thought you knew. You run into somebody, you say, man, that's all they gonna be until they decide they want to change. And then you start talking about the knowledge you think you know. So let's go there for a minute. The knowledge you think you know. How much of that you think they was aware of? Or it was aware to them, they just chose to, and yeah, they chose you to keep on furthering that detriment. Yeah, they chose you, right? What's so special about you that made them choose you to want to keep going with it on? How about they're trapped in humanity, and maybe none of this makes sense. You can tell a person, okay, you don't like the taste of water, which I get it on one level, but there's ways to get good, clean water. Man, I just don't like drinking water. Why are they wrong for not wanting to drink water? Why you got to have anything to say behind that other than, okay, and then they outlive you, but you don't know what's going on internally. Why are you forcing something to be going wrong with them internally? I hear what you're saying, bro, but it's got to be something wrong. You just want something to be wrong, don't you? It's called your mindset. I know this brother who got shot 16 times. They call the nigga half dead. He got shot like 4-5 times after that. Nigga got shot 20 times. Do you understand me, nigga? You don't know where a person is at in his life. So you know what you do? You focus on you. If you don't want nobody getting shot in your neighborhood, stop killing yourself and watch how it happens. And you don't go around making other people feel like they're less than you because you decided to go this route. Because if you're doing that, you're really not going this route. You're really still trying to figure out who you are because you're still thinking that if I don't do this, they don't get by. Ain't nobody looking at you as the example, nigga. But you are the example, and people are looking at you. Do you really want thousands of people saying, what should be my next move? Go look at some Brother Panic videos and look at the stuff people ask him. I was looking at one of his videos a little while ago, and somebody asked him, is there any magical things to language? How can I use language in a magical way? When have you ever heard Brother Panic? And I'm not down these people. I'm not disrespecting them. I'm not saying anything negative. But when have you ever heard Brother Panic talk to you about ways you can use language in a magical way? Like specifically, whether it's English, Spanish, Mandarin, Portuguese, anything. You never heard him say, I'm going to teach y'all how to use Portuguese in a magical way. So just because Brother Panic gets on the internet and do all sorts of videos and selling a panic pack, not reefers for you to smoke. I'm talking about something to heal your pineal gland, the healing pack, something to heal your chakra system. I take you one even further. People asking this, and I'm not putting these people down. I'm only using it as an example. He starts selling a panic pack, and people want to know, well, what's the ingredients? Why the hell would he sell the panic pack to heal your pineal gland if he's telling you the goddamn ingredients? That means you can make it on your own. He's not working. Well, won't you get a job and just tell us how to make it? You get what I'm saying now? You see how stupid that sounds? Him go get a job. If you asking him what's the ingredients in a panic pack, why should he go get a job? Now, if it was safe for him to go get a job and him tell you the ingredients in a panic pack, in a perfect world, he would have done that. Since this is not a perfect world, and I'm not here to defend that brother, speak up for him, don't ask him to this. I'm just telling you the mindset in which you must evolve from quickly, but it's not mandatory. You ask this man, you never heard him say, if you go look at Mandarin, there are certain key tones of your voice you can use magically and speak Mandarin, and suddenly things will open up. You know why you want to use magic and language? So if I'm speaking English, how can I use that magically? So you can control people. I want to make me some zombies like they do in voodoo. This nigga at work get on my nerves. How can I go to work and say certain words to him and get him under my control. Keep it real with yourself. Just say, I am inadequate. I still think that I have to fight people, throw my dukes. I got hands. Well, I know knowledge of self. You don't know knowledge of self. And I'm not putting those people down in no type of way. I mean, no disrespect. What I speak, so I will never have to say this again to y'all. The stuff that I speak has nothing to do with respect or disrespect. If that's what you thinking, you in the wrong place. And guess what? You need some work on yourself to be done. Well, why you curse? Again, if you worried about that, if I tell you somebody's gonna come blow your fucking brains out, nigga, you need to get the hell from my here. You worried about me saying fucking brains out? You worried about me using the F word? Excuse, oh my God, I didn't mean to say fuck. If you worried about me saying that, well, that's a different circumstance. This, what I'm saying, is greater than somebody blowing your brains out. At least if you dead, you ain't got to deal with none of this. Is there a chance you can reincarnate and come back down here? All depends on if somebody tell you, come this way, and you go into the light and you end up born in Tanzania, Poland, France, and say, God damn, I'm back down here buying toilet tissue again. You don't know what to do when you die. Does that make you a bad person? No, it's just simply saying you have not yet learned how to drive a car. Why is that so bad? Because people tease you if you don't know how to drive a car. Why are you paying attention? Do you have a car? So why does it matter if you don't know how to drive it? But you are in a car. Why don't you know how to drive it? Car, ba, and ab are words. But just because you probably, I'm saying probably with this much of you may or may not, just because you don't know what that is, why is it such a bad thing? Why is that such a bad thing? So I guess that's your excuse for shrugging your shoulders and throwing away your chance to get in on the information. But this is not to be trying to teach. Oh, this is what black folks need to hear. We need to share this. This is what our brothers and sisters in this community and that community. Yeah, all right, you go out there and tell somebody the goal is to walk away from humanity. And then try to explain what you mean by talking about that particular thing and see how they react. Don't make them good or bad people. All I'm saying is, if you don't hear the call to get to this information, relax, you're doing just fine. But don't say, oh, I heard somebody say, well, we gonna make it anyway. I can live it up and be as ignorant as I want to. Don't use that as an excuse, because guess what? Life has a brilliant way of showing you, oh, nigga, you ignorantly chose to. But for the people who don't know and they reject the knowledge, okay. But if you're gonna try to, well, let me get in this line right here, where the people who don't know and they rejecting it. If you choose to want to reject knowledge, is this some great being in the sky punishing you? You're that great being in that illusion that you call the sky that's punishing you, saying, damn, stupid. This nigga was just telling you, at least try. You're the one, because you're putting yourself through something that you could have learned about and you chose not to, and you're gonna bump into it every day until you get to that grand situation that say, God damn, nigga, it's full scale now. I had a chance. But are you condemned for the rest of your eternity? No. You'll just keep coming back down here until you say, enough is enough. Who the hell want to wake up in a body and say, damn, I was hearing that while I was down here the first time? But don't get this type of knowledge and think you finna go out there and save the world. Save you. That's how you save the world. You ever notice the more you start paying attention to the next level, the peaceful it becomes around you. But my family members are crazy though. What do you mean? You don't know. You don't know what I'm living through. Why are you lying to yourself? It's not to point nobody out, be specific. My family is this. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Everybody came to earth to do what they come to do until they figure out what they came down here to figure out. We all come down here with questions. Why you think the 5%ers are so big on question and answer? That's a piece of the puzzle. And if you're saying what that's got to do with what you just said, guess what? I guess you weren't really paying attention. That's okay though. You weren't paying attention in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. But if you was a part of that no child left behind situation, you got a GED. If you didn't go get a GED, eventually you learned. You eventually learned. But if you walking around like, well, I ain't get a chance for none of that. What about me? What about you, nigga? What about you? That's your excuse? You don't understand. No, you don't understand. You don't understand how if you keep on saying nobody understands, you know who that nobody is? You. Everybody else know. No matter how they come across to you. And the ones that was knowing and was showing you don't make you shit. Oh my God, I'm sorry. They was trying to teach me here. Now, guess what? You know what that sounds like? Another pity pot. Oh me, woe is me. No, you know what you should be doing? Saying, you know what? The hell with all of that. Let me start finding out some of this stuff, even if I don't go with all of it. 1% is better than because guess who's with you when you die? You. Because the people that came to earth to praise God, guess what? They know what to do when they leave. They know what to do when they die, or so-called die. When they make the transition, they know what to do because they came to earth to praise God. So they know this is what I came to do. What they got out of it, is what they got out of it. It's not for you to be going around. Why would a person come to earth to do that? Once you figure out knowledge yourself, you don't have to ask that question because you know the answer without having to say, here's a person that came to earth to do it. Why did you do that? You know the answer because I am you and you are me. So you don't have to ask certain questions. You're not going to ask your right arm, why did you pick up a spoon? Damn it, because we hungry. Why did your left arm wipe your mouth? Because it was spaghetti sauce in my beard. But if you're looking for somebody else to arrest your development, of course, why does that make you a bad person? Only you can do that and then project it on other people. You remember how they were saying that a little while ago? Oh, you projecting, you projecting, you projecting. Just like people were saying they was woke. Well, I certainly hope you was woke, but not the term that they politicized and gave you to think that you got a beat on things. You're supposed to be woke, stupid. And I say that as a diagnosis. I told y'all when y'all start looking up what all these terms are, and in these medical books, you're gonna find stupid, ignorant, dummy, all of that. It's medical terms. Yeah, but you using it in the way, yeah, that's your way of interpreting it. Because you want to pick apart something that you just want the shortcut. This represents the charger to this phone right here. But I'm beyond this and this phone. But I'm not looking at the phone. and the charger as anything that's beneath me. Because guess what? Hold on, time out. Let me show you something real quick. Just so you will know. This is one thing. Here go that Baphomet right here. Now, I was at the open mic at the church that I'll be telling y'all about. They got a basketball court. I was playing basketball with this around my neck. So that's why that horn is broke off. Hold on. Let me show you something else. This one right here scares the hell out of people because they say, oh, that's devil worship. And if you ask them, why is it devil worship? Because God condemned it. The Bible said, and that's all they can tell you. And I understand why they're saying that, because that's all they've been taught. Why are they wrong? Why are you condemning them and looking at them crazy? Even if you never grew up in the church, you still should be looking at people. That's when your compassion, unconditional love, unconditioned means no conditions. You allowed to get upset, but you found solutions. So you become less upset. You see things and be like, oh, okay, I get it. Not so you can be mumbling under your breath. When you do that, the first thing that should come to your mind is, we about solutions. And don't wear yourself thin trying to talk to people and speak stuff on them. No, you keep healing yourself, and that responds to their energy. And guess what? Over time, without you charting somebody's progress, well, why, if I'm getting better, well, why I don't look like this to me then? Tell you why I don't look like this. Because really, you're not really doing what you say you're doing. And it's going along with the flow. And they'll do it when they fucking ready. How about that? How about that, nigga? And if, why you gotta use the word nigga? And I'm not saying it just because you may not know what that word is. Why do I have to restrain myself when giving? I'm not going to be like, oh, my beloved, do you know that your building is on fire? Please, if you would only make your way to an exit. No, hey, get your ass up, nigga. The building is on fire. Now, if you don't see this as the building being on fire, or maybe why are you worried about what I'm saying instead of the destination I'm helping you get to, which you're going to end up there anyway. Well, if I'm going to end up there anyway, why you can't just talk this way? Find somebody who's talking like this. Not saying that they wrong, because they not. And again, the spirit allows me to be, talk, act, and be this type of person to protect those who are not ready for this level of understanding. Don't mean that they lacking. But do you really want a lunatic with a loaded gun? I'm not here because I'm superior to you. I'm here because I am you and you are me. And I'm tired of looking at you in this position. But I'm not here to condemn you because you're in this position, because I'm in this position and you my left arm and I'm your right arm and we both on the same goddamn body. But I'm not mad at you because you got gangrene. It's just that when one eye goes blind, the other eye kicks in and access both eyes. And if I'm somehow able to rejuvenate that eye that went blind, now we can see out of both of them again. And guess what? As a bonus, which is the real deal, we can see out of our third eye, the pineal gland. So we no longer depend on the two false eyes. We depend on the real eye, the Cyclops. Cyclops, Wolverine. We are the X-Men. Not on some old, you can say, yeah, that represents us, but then the only thing you can equate that to as a human being getting money, keeping his head down, and finding out when you die. Nigga, you sound stupid. Either you an X-Man or you somebody claim to be an X-Man, but ain't got X-Man capabilities, or don't know you got X-Man capabilities. Either way it go, you're not wrong. It's just a matter of you saying, hey, wait a minute, I learned how to drive today without killing nobody. And then let's get down to that people dying. Some people are being rescued. If a person is terminally ill with cancer, doctors can't save them. You don't know nothing other than if we can just get them home, unless your energy is that strong and you that magical in your mind, and you thinking we can just get them home. Now, if that works for you, cool. I'm not getting down, and I'm not getting down on the person the other way. I'm just trying to get you to understand, if you don't have it in you to heal that person from cancer, why you want them? Oh Lord, please let them live so they can live the rest of their life in a hospital. What type of life is that for a person? But then you finna go have sex, eat ice cream, and go to the damn movies, and then come back and tell them, oh, so and so just learned how to ride a bike today. You know how they looking at you from the inside, nigga? Like, fuck you. Why you just didn't let me make the transition? Happy to tell you. Not sorry to tell you. Happy to tell you. You're only doing that because of your own selfish needs. I went to visit him every day. Where were you? Why didn't you show up to the funeral? Did you help us put up money for their burial? So you can go through life and say, I'm the person who helped them get a proper burial. It's just a fucking body. What about what was inside of that body? You want somebody to survive so you can say, let me borrow some money. So you can get them to agree with your argument. Baphomet. Straight up. Baphomet. And no, I'm not doing this as something to hypnotize you. Follow me. Do this, that, and the other. If you follow me, guess what? Your phone gonna go off. Don't follow me. Because I don't want you to follow me and be like, nigga, my phone went off. If that wasn't what you decided to do, why you blaming me, nigga? Because I can get it back on my own easily. I'm not downplaying nobody around me. I'm grateful. Know that. I don't look at my situation as, oh, I got it made and I'm living off people. That's not what it is. But I am in a unique position. And pretty soon, like it was in my old lifetimes, in this one, you're going to know who I am. But I'm not going to be that person. It's going to be like, damn, y'all new blood? Yeah. But it ain't going to be like it was in past lifetimes. Because I was world famous for all the stuff y'all hold dear to you. This time, it's on a different level. So you got to understand something, man. All of this type of stuff is evil. This ain't our information. Why y'all focus on it? See, that's the problem. What do you want to do? Be able to grow your own vegetables? Who's in control of vegetable growth on this planet? Even the people in indigenous lands. Still, you know what they're going to tell you? There's an entity outside of us. Some of them live in fear of it. Other ones be like, man, you know what? I wish them niggas would come over here. And they ain't talking about they're going to retaliate physically. They're using their magical mind. You hear me? They're using their magical mind. So they ain't worried about level 3 of the game and the boss that's on level 3 that they got to defeat. You understand that? That's not what they worried about. They ain't even thinking on those lines. They thinking of, let's hurry up and get this over with, because it's a shame that I got to kill tomatoes, chickens, and drink water to sustain myself, because they're truly conscious. And just because you're not thinking on that level, don't think that you're lacking. Remember, dedication, preface, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, book is done. Next book, them the levels of understanding. Just because somebody on chapter 12 and you ain't got there yet, all of a sudden they weirdos and strange. The information is this, that, the other. Now you all this wholesome, logical family. Well, you know, bootstraps Republican. All right, man, I get it. Just try your best to mind your business and leave other people out of your bootstraps Republican type of life. Not directing this at nobody. But if you find yourself in that place, you know what you need to say? What the hell? Because even if a person choose to be that type of person who you were persecuted in that situation, why? But I was with them and we this, that, and the other. And guess what? They was like that when you met them. Now that they with you, all of a sudden, you supposed to be the beacon that makes them realize themselves and say, well, since I'm with you, let me be. How much of you that they didn't like? But I was good though. They tried to change me into something that they wanted me. And you tried to change them into something that you wanted. Instead of saying, hey, you, I'm me. Not no until. No, it's simply that. You're you, I'm me. Let's do this. Your left brain and your right brain ain't talking to you like that. Only because somebody found a way to manipulate you via your subconscious mind, got you thinking that way. But otherwise, your left brain and your right brain is your brain. And guess what? Your brain, on one level, is representative. On one level, once you start going up higher and higher and higher, you start to realize things about your brain that works to your advantage. But on this level, what I'm talking now, your brain is the prison. But the higher you go up in the levels of understanding, the more you realize that how could a prison be something that I can activate and control while I'm in this state of being? You ever went on the internet and seen something that says synchronize left and right brain hemispheres? There's a clue. So you have to realize, not mandatory that you have to realize, it's real simple. What are you doing for your liberation that in terms liberates other people without you having to be in their business and telling people what you think all the goddamn time? It's okay to share, but when you start handing out today's criteria, huh? That person was exactly who they was before you decided I'm the beacon in their lives. I don't think like that. Yeah, all right. Soon as you got with them, soon as you was no longer with them, now all of a sudden You start pointing out where you was the beacon. Don't worry about it. It's humanity. Everybody does it. It's a part of humanity. Why is that such a crime? When it becomes a crime is when you start taking that to being true, making you that beacon for real. It's okay. All right. Then I realize that, you know what, man, you know what? I'm just going to say unconditional love. And no, you can't just say that. You have to actually be it. Conditions don't mean that you can say unconditional love and start talking about, but at this point, when it was this. No, unconditional means I'm you, you me. So when we got together, you don't look at them and say, man, it's ugly, but I'm still with you though. No, you see energy. Say like you got two speaker wires and one of the coating on that speaker wire, okay, you got the left speaker wire and the right speaker wire. Let's just say any one of those, left or right, one of those speaker wires, you fill in the blank which one you want to be raggedy. Both of them had a chance to repair themselves. But they got a chance to repair themselves. That's the key right there, bro. So, all right. You done yet? You done? I'll wait. Anyway, like I was saying, one of them is raggedy. You walked up on it raggedy. If you wanted such a pristine thing, why don't you find one that's fixed? Or you thought, here's a fixer-upper. Now, why didn't you go with the one that was fixed? Because I'm damaged too, damn it. And how do I know this complete one wants me around or seems to be complete one? Because you don't know the damage with the seems to be complete. Now, here's the overall. Do you have time to be looking at, is it really that or is it not? No, because if that's the case, you're going to keep bouncing. Well, damn, that didn't work. Damn, that didn't work. Damn, that didn't work. So guess what? When you with somebody, damaged or undamaged, guess what? When they ready to heal, you ready to heal. Well, I'm on my journey of healing though. Yeah, and you knew that person went on the journey of healing. Not the way you on your journey, but on the journey of healing. Not the way it was presented, on the journey of healing. Because you was all that stuff that I just said, and you're not on the journey of healing either. I'm not here to tell you how to be a better human. I don't care nothing about you as a human being. I empathize. That's where my compassion kicks in. But if you want me to care about you as a human, too bad, so sad, sorry. I'm not here to save the human. I'm here to get you from stop being the human. And it has nothing to do with me blaming you. I know you can do better. I don't know nothing. I don't know what you can do. I know you as the same thing as me, trapped in this human body, and you're experiencing your human body different from how I am. But we're the same energy, the same God, the same whatever you want to call it, having an experience the same way, but individually. If I hit my toe on the corner of the dresser and it hurt me a certain way, you can't say, well, my pain, I hit it on the dresser and my pain is greater than yours. Didn't we both hit our toe on the dresser and experience pain? It depends on how you hit it. All right, you want to do semantics. Good for you. Well, guess what you miss? We both was clumsy enough. First off, the fact that we had to hit our toe on the dresser to experience the pain. And then the second thing is we both hit our toe. Just because mine may seem lesser than yours and I'm able to do for you more than you can help me get over my pain doesn't mean I should placate to you And oh, well, you're not really suffering, so suffering is suffering. Suffering succotash. Stupid. We're in pain. Now that it's all better, well, I hit my toe a little bit worse than yours. You healed up in 3 days. Mine's healed in 6 weeks. The tragedy is neither one of us was avoiding or could have avoided the tragedy, no matter what caused it. The point is, it happened. If I get into a car accident with you and you live and I die, what's the greatest tragedy here? Nothing. The tragedy is the car accident happened. And here's the most tragic thing. The most tragic thing is that I had to have a car, period. When the car is designed off how your body supposed to be moving, limitless. See, if I knew the true value of myself and knew how to move around, me and you both, we wouldn't have had a car to get into an accident to bump into each other because we got knowledge of self. None of this never happened because none of this had to exist. We never believed that we needed a car. Now, if you think that's too far-fetched to deal with, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, I know what to tell you. Get over it, nigga, and start studying. The tragedy is that a car had to exist, period. Not something that I want to sound cool. Here's a new thing. No, the tragedy is that it happened, period. So what about all the people driving to work? Ain't it a shame? That's the tragedy. How do you prevent this? Knowledge of self. How do I get down to the point of knowing where this tragedy come from and the point of knowing that it was tragedy, period? Knowledge of self. Start studying. Get over the thing that makes you say this information. And I'm not telling you that this is something to be taught to everybody, because when you go back and try to tell your family members this, that don't mean your family members got something wrong with them. They lesser than you. Everything you try to throw up as a defense mechanism, look at your family members and not as, oh, shame on them. If they don't get it, that's even worse. They less than. No, the tragedy is what if you couldn't get it? And the fact that you had to even get this type of information, period. But since we're here, why not take advantage of it? And if people not taking advantage of it, why are you putting them down? That's what occult science represents as the next level, right up under esoteric science. Occult, hidden culture. Esoteric metaphysics, which is the level right above occult. And there's levels above, okay, occult, metaphysics, mundane. And then the many levels to the mundane. It gets you down to the esoteric metaphysics, and then from the esoteric metaphysics down to the occult. And it's not some occult. And look, if you try to anything else that's your own doing, get over yourself. And when you're really ready to learn, it's here for you. It's only complicated when you decide to want to make it complicated. And the way you make it complicated, everything got to be goddamn rational. If that was the case, occult and metaphysics wouldn't even exist. And it's no disrespect to those people. who think rationally. Because guess what? That's a part of level 1. So without level 1, you can't get a level 2. So stop thinking that everything is a pot shot. Oh, these people like this. No, you're dealing with personalities and ego. I'm not an egotistical person. It may seem like that at times, but no, I'm a grown-up, responsible kid. I like Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, and all of that type of stuff. But when it's time to get down to the real, guess what? You can't beat me. Nor should you want to try to beat me. Because I'm not here trying to beat you. I am you and you are me. And I would never get tired of saying that. Okay? So, what you must realize, not as the criteria, not if you don't realize this, you don't get it. No, what you must realize is that it's time, if this is what you're supposed to be doing, not as some, this is how you save the humanity, the human race. This is how you save black people. Or none of that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm not for or against black people. I'm indifferent. I see both sides of the argument and I walk away and say, it's up to y'all to decide. But I heard both of y'all. Both of y'all have valid points. Not for me, hey, this is how you stop the argument. Agree to disagree. No, here's how you stop the argument. If you're ready to get down to where I'm at, which is where we are all at, we just haven't realized it yet. Nigga, see both sides of it, truly. Not as some old, y'all niggas just don't get it yet. It's not about they don't get it yet. It's called, I don't want to keep walking through life blaming people for something I set up for me to come down here to do. And if I'm trapped down here, why am I blaming other people who are trapped down here? So them your two things you go on. And you don't just wake up out the blue without no knowledge and start saying, well, I ain't trapped down here, so it's your fault. No. If you realize you're not trapped down here, nobody is to blame. If you realize you're trapped down here, nobody is to blame. Clear cut straight down the middle. So, I will end this by saying, knowledge is free. Knowledge is free. Wisdom is free. Understanding is free. And you are free to indulge, engage, learn, intake, and it's all within you laying dormant. But the one thing that will hinder you is when you get to a certain point and start saying, oh, that ain't for me. But if you say, I only choose to go this far, and that's what you came to earth to do. Not hearing me say, I came to earth to do this, and then you say when you get to a point, something that don't agree with you, and you want to start being logical again, and then you start saying, well, this is what I came to do. No, nigga, if that's what you came to do, it wouldn't have led you to do that. There is a 104-piece puzzle. Not saying I'm only using, now this is the point where I start using the metaphor. There's a 104-piece puzzle. All 104 pieces must be put together for that puzzle to be complete. Why are you leaving one piece out? Because it don't look right and it don't agree with, well, all my life I was taught this. And all your life you never questioned anything beyond, if it don't help me pay my bills. Because the only thing you get to come back to is paying your bills and dying. But what happens when you die? You know what you waiting on when you die? Something outside of you to take control. Well, something's got to be in control, right? Why the hell you gonna say something got to be in control and then right after that say, right? Who you asking, me? You can't be asking other people that say, well, something got to be in control, right? Nigga, they don't know just like you know. But I just told you. based on my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Not as a that's the definitive answer. I'm saying, nigga, if you want to know like I know, research. And if it takes you back to your logic, then hell, you're not wrong. Because maybe that's what you came down here to do, to get a better understanding of logic. Why is that wrong? But other than that, give your chance a chance. Like they say in the rooms of AA. See, all the positions I was privy to be in taught me all sort of stuff. Nigga, when they say it works when you work it, that really resonated with me. And I said, you know what? All my esoteric studies, nigga, I'm finna work the hell out of this. Not because I can call on the ancestors and they can help me get ahead by doing this. No, I am the ancestors getting ahead by doing this. So Madre de la Agua, I'm Madre de la Agua. I'm Tiacha. I'm Otincha. I'm Shayola. I'm everything in the Necronomicon. I'm all of that. And some. If they come up with some new ones tomorrow, I'm that. Because guess what? If I wasn't down here, you wasn't down here, you couldn't come up with it. Not to say yours is false and ours is true, yours is false and mine is true. I'm talking about I've convinced myself. Well, why you ain't flourishing? Why you ain't online like all the other brothers that's talking about this, that, other? Because they have a specific realm of knowledge that they're talking about, and that's what they choose to exude and present themselves in. So when you see brothers, and I'm not putting them in no category, I'm not talking negative against them. This is not me clarifying. It's not me, oh, I don't want to get into it. It ain't got nothing to do with that. So when you see brothers like 19 Keys and all the other good brothers out there that's breaking down their field of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that's because that's what they came back to teach you. But don't misconstrue it as the end all be all. Because you see that brother and all of the other brothers that's like him and sisters that's like him on the internet talking, don't think that arrest your development and if we do this and get money and assert ourselves in dominance as financial people, guess what? I love 19 Keys. That's my brother. That's my homie. But guess what? Mansa Musa was on the earth before 19 Keys, nigga. And 19 Keys would not have no problem. I guarantee you he wouldn't have no problem with me saying that. Because you know what he gonna tell you? You damn straight, brother. If you want to get financially stable, draw your goddamn inspiration, but don't be dependent on Mansa Musa. You become Mansa Musa. That brother ain't down here to tell you, keep logging in to me every day. You think he wants you waking him up at 3 o'clock in the morning to say, and it didn't work, brother. What next? He got a life just like you do. Nigga, get up and do for self. That's why the ancestors, like the Orishas, say we don't like you niggas no more. In the past, they said that. And guess what? Anybody could work with the Orishas. Whoever's giving them the most energy to keep them relevant, because the Orishas wasn't around before you got here. You came here and created the Orishas. In case you didn't know. And I'm not speaking to you in a way to put you down, but just in case you didn't know, nigga, you came and created the Orishas, not the other way around. You brought Madre de la Agua, Lord of the Waters. You brought that forward to you, not the other way around. So, I'm finna go back to what I was doing, and we can all do that. Have a good night. I apologize for those who I may have disturbed. I didn't mean no disrespect. But guess what? At the end of the day, it's up to you to become all of these things who you looking at as supposed to be responsible for Shorty getting shot and you not being able to pay your bills every day. But if you came down here to depend on the things that stop Shorty from being shot and to pay your bills every day, don't feel bad. If you don't know whether that's you or not, start seeking knowledge yourself. Because guess what? The thing you depending on that keeps Shorty from being shot and for paying your bills will not punish you, because it says, my people perish from a lack of knowledge. So with that being said, knowledge, wisdom, and with that being said, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is up to you to gain, not a speaker on the internet. But please, when those people ask you to do something for them to help them keep going, to bring forth this knowledge, and you choose the one to indulge in it, help them out in any way you can. Even if it's you just saying to yourself, I send energy to help them be able to pay their bills or whatever it is. Whatever you can do to help out, do it. But don't feel obligated and don't feel bad if you can't give them money, because it's not about the money. Because guess what? They're the dollars that you spending, just like you are the dollars that you spending. And don't feel less than, because you're not less than. I am you and you are me, and I'm done. Bye, nigga.